JoyToy Warhammer the Horus Heresy Legion Apothecary. Looks like the same mold, same $56 price tag. Choosing between the Imperial Fist yellow and the Sons of Horus sea green isn't just a color swap. It defines your entire 1/18 scale display. The problem? On the surface, the tooling is identical. In the lore, it's a total war. One is a loyal son of the Emperor, and the other serves a war master. The threat to your shelf? Yellow armor can look premium or like cheap unpainted plastic. Sea green can look elite or just flat and lifeless. You either display a hero or a butcher. Let's find out which one actually deserves your cash. From afar, they look identical. It looks like the same body mold with a different deco. Both of these battlefield paramedics carry a Narthecium permanently sculpted to the left arm. These guys are the surgeons of the 31st millennium, obsessed with their work because they hold the literal future of their legion in their hands. Their job isn't pretty, and JoyToy represented that with the bloodstain on the saw blades and medical aprons. That saw is for one thing, cutting open the chest of a fallen brother to harvest the gene seed. Space Marines can't reproduce. To make new ones, they need that organ, the gene seed. If the Apothecary fails, the Legion dies. I have to give it to JoyToy. The blood splatter on the saw and apron actually looks great. It's a premium touch that makes this feel like these Legion Apothecaries just stepped off a brutal battlefield. But here's the issue. Why is the blood splatter so mild on both figures? For $56, is it too much to ask for a unique paint app? Shouldn't the butcher look, well, more like a butcher? Then again, a chest cavity is going to spray the same way whether you're a loyalist or a traitor, so maybe the factory look actually makes sense here. Both Legion Apothecaries do the same work, but with opposite intentions. The Imperial Fist is a hero, saving the future of the Imperium. The Son of Horus is a butcher feeding a traitor war machine. If you're a 90s purist who collects heroes, the yellow is your winner. But if you prefer villains, that sea green is the only choice. You either display a savior front and center or you hide a scavenger in the back. I do wonder if there are collectors who would get both. Let me know in the comments below, would you pick one or pick both? Initially, I thought the left Pauldron on both Apothecaries was from the exact same mold, but there is a massive difference once you look at the spacing of the bonding studs. The Imperial Fist has a higher count in a bright shiny silver, while the Son of Horus features fewer studs in a metallic gold, with a completely different arrangement. It's a subtle change, but it proves JoyToy isn't just lazy with repaints, they're actually adjusting the tooling for each legion. The same can be said to the pipes connecting to the Narthecium. Imperial Fist has a gunmetal shiny painted pipe with sculpted details, unlike the Son of Horus, which is just painted with red and yellow. The scope of the Narthecium is exactly the same, but there are small painted details that are different between the two. I am referring to the colored vials where they store the gene seed they harvest. Each figure has a pair of vials on the belt as well, but the placement is different. For the Imperial Fist, the vials sit right in front. On the Son of Horus, they're moved to the side. One warning, there are several detachable accessories on this belt that fall off easily. Be careful not to lose them, or your $56 investment is going to be incomplete. For the Imperial Fist, you have the grenade and the two pouches. You can plug it into the back, but that's not the purpose of that back peg. That is for his gun. Both figures comes with guns in holster. You cannot remove the guns. They're merely decoration for both figures. Between the two, the best looking one is for the Son of Horus, where there are more sculpted details and painted details on this gun. The same can be said for the backpack. I believe the Son of Horus has a better backpack because there are more articulated parts. The searchlight can swivel, and also the stabilizer vents or stabilizer jets. That's a big plus because for the Imperial Fist, only the stabilizer jets can swivel. the antenna cannot swivel. Just putting the main power plants together, you can see the difference between the two, how the Son of Horus seems to have a better type of backpack. Attaching them is easy, just press it there. In the comments below, let me know which power pack or the backpack that I was referring to is better. The Imperial Fist, which has less articulated parts, or the one that is with the Son of Horus. Let me know in the comments below. Even if it feels like the Imperial Fist is a disadvantage in terms of accessories, the paint deco of the Imperial Fist is better compared to the Son of Horus. I feel that the sea green colors of the Son of Horus is a bit flat, unlike the Imperial Fist, which has more of a wash. Like, it's not fully bright yellow, it's like a weathered kind of yellow, just like those old cars which has been through a tough time. That's the type of yellow the Imperial Fist has. The upper torso movement of the Son of Horus is limited. Unlike Imperial Fist, there is a upper torso movement that is not hindered by any kind of deco. I prefer the boot design of the Imperial Fist because of those bonding studs on it. That really makes the Son of Horus look plain in terms of deco. The Imperial Fist helmet is very clean and has a nice look, a flat face plate with vertical cooling vents, unlike the Son of Horus, which has the iconic beaky helmet. He has a pointed snout like a predatory bird or a scavenger. Both Apothecary has the same set of alternate hands, all for the right, because as mentioned a while ago, the Narthecium is permanently attached to the left hand. Each Apothecary has 3 alternate hands, all right. These are the chainsword holding hands. I cannot find any distinct element between the two chainswords. They look exactly the same color too. The next hand is a trigger finger hand. Again, as mentioned a while ago, there was no gun included, so this is another option in terms of hands that you can use for the chainsword. It adds a more dynamic and a more practical way of holding the chainsword when in action. The last hand included, making it a total of 3 right hands, is closed fist hands. I like the Imperial Fist because there is some reddish kind of wash on the fist. The final accessory, which is included in every JoyToy Warhammer figure, is a clear base or action figure stand. You can peg it on there. It doesn't really need it because the figure can stand without that thing. For articulation, the neck can swivel and can tilt because of the type of neck peg it has. Cannot extend his arm that well because of the Pauldron. This Pauldron is articulated, it can hinge up and down, has a bicep swivel right here. The pipes connected to the Narthecium does not hinder that swivel. He has single jointed elbow. The Imperial Fist has a usable upper torso swivel, can crunch forward like that, crunch backward that far. Performing a split is impossible because of his belt and the design of his upper thigh. A swivel right here, single jointed knees. Because of the decorations along his belt, it's quite difficult for him to kick. The ankle rocker and hinging is difficult because of the boot design. He has no articulation. The Butcher or the Son of Horus cannot move his upper torso that well because of the design of his torso. Since there is nothing attached to the left side of his belt, he can kick that well, unlike the right leg which cannot kick forward. The JoyToy Warhammer Imperial Fist Legion Apothecary stands 12.8 cm or 5 inches tall. He is taller than the Son of Horus, which stands 12.5 centimeters or 4.9 inches tall. Even if their body mold looks similar, there are subtle differences. Here they are beside 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends Wolverine Cyclops, a 1/18 scale Stellar Scar male figure, Miles Morales, and Maximum Series Deadpool. Here they are besides 3.75-inch scale Marvel Universe figures, Apocalypse, Wolverine, Colossus Juggernaut. Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Kyle Budo Gesso, Loose Collector, and Halimaw Sculptures Darna. Warhammer Horus Heresy Legion Apothecaries besides Warhammer 40k Dark Angels Deadwing Knights, which I reviewed in this channel. Hope you check it out. Choosing between the two Legion Apothecary is a matter of whether you want to display heroes or display villains. But for me, my pick would be the Imperial Fists Legion Apothecary. Truly a hero-looking figure. How about you? Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again to JoyToy for providing these figures for review. If you found this review helpful, hope you keep it a hype, keep it a like, subscribe to the AFM channel, and share this with our fellow JoyToy collectors. If you collect Marvel Legends, hope you check out my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm Juggernaut!